everybody. See who's watching. Right. Hello, Dylan. How are you? Hope everybody's had some nice weather this weekend. Probably everybody's been going mad getting the jobs done. I know I have. Lots of gardening, painting garden furniture, etc. So, hi Pat. Are we meant to be upside? Am I upside down? Oh dear. I hope that'll be okay. I see. It must be the way that. Right. Well, I don't know whether I can actually change that. Let's see. Is that better? There we go. Oops, camera problem. Thanks for mentioning that. Right. Now let's see if we can do something with this. Is that better? Oh, thanks. Thanks, Linda May. Thank you. I thought it looked a little bit strange, to be perfectly honest. Right, I'm just trying to twist to get the best angle. I think that's a bit better, isn't it, there? Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Susan. I said hello to Annette. Trying to keep track of everybody. Oh, thank you for joining. Right. Well, today we're going to be doing some aperture cards. So, with different ways you can do them, obviously. And the first one we're going to be doing, I'm going to be using the Simply Cards and Paper Craft magazine, which is number 214. It was out not long ago, and it's got the lovely herb set in it. So it's quite a nice one, this, for ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate this. Hi, Mary and Juliet and Thea. Yeah, Cheryl, I think I've said hello. Thank you. So yeah, lovely set, this one, the Herb Garden, and lots of nice stamps in it. I'm also going to be using the Creative Stitch Nestables dies, and I have got most of these actually. So the one we're going to be using is the Stitched Octagons one today. And the paper I'm going to be using is from the British Birds, and it's an RSPB book, and they're really thick papers. These are, they're really lovely, and lovely designs in them. You get some toppers as well, so they're nice for making apertures with, but it's a bit too big on the table. This is the large one, the 12 by 12, and there's also an 8 by 8, so I'll just pop that out of the way for now. And this is the first card that I made. I'm going to do a twist on this, just do it slightly different. So these apertures are slightly raised up with foam, and the paper, this paper I had in my stash, and I thought it was quite apt because it's got the watering cans on. Hi Benita, hi Amanda, and also if you look on the cover of that magazine, you actually get downloads, and there's one very similar to this, a lovely one with the forks and the trowel on, so you can actually download the papers from the magazine. So there are instructions in there how to do it, but I'd forgotten about that and I just found this, so so not to worry. So what you need is just an A4 piece of card and just score it down the middle. That's the size that we're going to be using. And then I wanted a backing piece, and I've used this nice olive green because the paper I'm using is this one. And these leaves, these sort of piney leaves and furs, they actually look a little like some of the herbs in the set, so I thought I'd use those. So that's cut about 1/8 of an inch smaller, so you've got a fine border all the way around. But I've cheated a bit because I want to cut my apertures out of this. I hate putting a great piece of card down like that and then using another piece the same size just to cut the apertures. So I'm being a bit frugal there, but it all costs money, so we try to do what we can to save a little bit, don't we? So I'm just going to pop some things out of the way. And when you get your dies out, see which one you think will fit the best. So you need 2 for your aperture, and I've had to use, I think these are actually the one in from the other one. I don't think I've been able to leave a gap with these. I just do a small frame to get 3 on. If you only want to put 2 on, you could possibly go larger. So I'm going to cut this out. What I did was I put my die down on the mat and picked it up with some tape. You've probably seen John Lockwood do this. It's a really good idea. And then I've put the other die in the middle and you hover over it, make sure it's even, and then you press your tape across the 2 and you should get quite a nice aperture then. So let me just get my machine in the view. I don't know whether it's in view or not, to be honest with you. I've not got a lot of room here. So we'll pop this one through. And if you're not able to craft along because you really wouldn't know everything I was going to use, you can watch the video later and hopefully do some then. I'll just put that out of the way. And then I'll show you how I decided where they were going to go on the card. That's just torn. Don't know what it is with this particular paper, but it will tear no matter how much I rub things on my sweater. It doesn't matter, I'll turn it over the other way. When I rub the tape on my sweater, it doesn't seem to take enough sticky off, and it's only washi tape. So anyway, right, where's my, there it is. So there, I've got 3 now, 3 frames, and we're going to cut apertures into this piece of paper now. And you're probably wondering about that underneath, but they won't be in the same position. So I've cut out just a plain piece of cream card as a little lift to lift it up after. So what I need to do is decide where these are going to go. So I can do it that way, I can do it that way, and I think, as I did the other card with the point at the top, I think what I'll do it the other way around. So let me just find my ruler. That'll be the one thing that's missing, you can guarantee it. Ruler, where have you gone? Can't find you. Have to do without it. Oh, I can see it. I can see it right down there near the laptop. Right. So let's see how big this is. So it's just under 8 inches. So the centre, I'll just even it up there. I don't think you can see, can you? There we go. We'll just even it up and we'll do a mark at 4 inches. And then down this end, we'll do a mark at 2 inches, just to give us the centre of those apertures. I'm trying to get the best position for this. Right, so that's the middle of that one. I've got my mark there, and that's the middle of the, I'm trying to think what it is. It's an octagon, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Right, now that's the middle of the other one, so they're going to be quite close, but I can move them out a little bit. That's the middle of the other one. So I can have them as close as that, or I can move them out, and I think I'm just going to move them slightly to the side, leaving an even gap. So next we need to just do a little pencil mark inside the octagon, so that we know where the die needs to go. I'll just do the one for now. And we're going to cut out the smaller of the 2 dies. We don't want the big one or it'll fall through. We need to sit in this other one. So let me just see. That was the bigger one. Yeah, and then that, just double checking where that one will be when it's cut. Do you know, I'm just thinking that looks, it looks smaller. There must be an in-between one. Don't know where that's gone. Anyway, we'll go for this one. Right, so I'm going to now take that one down. And let's hope it doesn't tear. Let me just do this on my sweater again. A little bit of tape either side and pop that through the machine. Can you believe the weather we've been having? It's absolutely freezing cold yesterday, wasn't it? Horrible. I think we even had a hailstorm. Right, let's see. Oh, that's good. That's not torn it. Lovely. Now let me just see. Yep, that's right. That'll sit nicely on there. So I'm going to leave that there while I set the others up, and then I'll mark inside where I'm going with it. So I'm going to have that one there, just evenly spaced. I do a lot of things by eye. Right, okay, so we're going to mark this one now inside the line. It's only pencil, it can be rubbed out if you can see anything at all. Okay. And then we need to go in with this this die again. I'll pop that over there. I've got the Gemini machine, but it's quite it's quite large on the table with all my other stuff, so and I've got to have the laptop on here as well. So right, that should be okay. So let's just try those out. Just keep checking, making sure. Yeah, that fits nicely. So now we'll try this third one. We'll pop that down on there. And hope doing things by eye works for me today. Right. I hope you all had a nice Easter. Marcia and Madeline have joined us as well, so hello, thank you for joining us. If I've missed anybody out, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to concentrate and keep looking up at the comments as well. So I'm sorry if I've missed any of your names. Righty-ho. Now there's an offer on at CraftStash as well for the paper pads, so it might be worth having a look on there. So what we're going to do now, is I've not stamped all my little bits and pieces yet, so I think we'll do that next. I'm going to just stick this down onto the backing. See if I can swing this camera here a little bit more, then I'm not stretching over the table too much. That's it. Right, and put the backing piece down first. Seems awfully quiet when you're doing this in the house on your own. I wish we could all have a nice, you know, a little get together and a coffee and a chat. Right, so we're doing it that way, aren't we? So that goes on there as the back mat. There we go. Put my die out of the way and the other one, don't want to lose those. Put that one there just for when I'm ready. And now we can pop these down, glue them down. So they've got nice little stitched edges as well, these ones, but it doesn't matter if they've not, because, and you can always draw on a stitched edge anyway if you haven't got that type. There we go, that's one. It's nice when you can relax and just do something like this, just something a little bit different. And you probably think of other ways. I know you're a clever lot out there, you really are. Do some beautiful cards I'm always seeing on Craft World. You're absolutely amazing, you are. Oh, it's lovely to see everybody's work. Everybody's got different ideas, haven't they? But we all learn from one another, which is what it's all about. Right, so there's all the apertures done. And now we can decide what we want to put in them. Now, just to show you, because these take a while to cut out, I didn't want to bore you cutting everything out. I wouldn't normally cut these out. I'd leave it until I'd coloured them and then cut them out because they're so small, but they're just gorgeous. A little fork and a trowel. And I've got the stamped plant pot and also the chives. So I'll pick some more things to cut out. And we've got Eamon, is that Eamon? And Trish and Val joined us. Hello to all of you and thanks for joining. Right, so I'll just colour these in. I'm going to put just a piece of paper down on here and show you how I coloured them in. So for the plant pot, I've stamped it in black and I've used a couple of colours of brown. So we'll start off. These are Hunky Dory's Prism markers, but any markers that you've got will be fantastic. So I think that's the lighter one. So I'll come in with the lighter one first, and I keep it very light in the middle. I'm no colourist, but as such, I know some people are fantastic, and I always admire the people with the Copic markers as well. Oh, that's dedication, that is. That's wonderful. And then a darker one just around the edges and just around here and at the bottom. And then I will go in with this one again just to blend. Right, that's the lighter one, so I just want to cover slightly now that it's dried a little bit. Just cover a line up there, and it gives it a little bit of shape. So this one again on the sides. I'm not bothered if I go over the lines because it's being cut out. Just to give it an idea of a curve, and then again before it dries, hopefully move that over. And you should get some shadow and a little bit of light on there as well. And it just looks, as you can see with this one, you can see by doing that, it just gives it a little bit of a lift, and it looks as though the light's hitting it. Now for this, the chives, I've used, I think it was this green. They've not got colours on, I'm afraid, to tell you. They've only got numbers, but it's an olivey green. And I've just literally gone up to the each grass. I'll just turn it round. There we go. And it leaves a little bit of light in between as well. There's a grass I've missed there and there. There we go. And that one. And to cut these out, I just came down each side, rounded it off, and then just with some little scissors, I just kind of cut a wedge out of a few of these longer little leaves. And it just gives it a little bit of, can you see that? Just a little bit of movement. So again with the handle, I think I used the darker of these two on the handle. And then for the metal, I used, it's a lightish grey, a bit like a steel grey. In fact, I might have even used a lighter one than that. Let me try this one. This is like an oatmeal colour. I think it was this one. So we'll go in with this. If it's not dark enough, I can go over it. And all I did with this one was just leave a little bit of a line there near the seam of the trowel, just to make it look as though it's picking up the light. And then you can always actually just, you can bend that a little as well. And again for the fork, just quickly. There we go. So we need to choose some more stamps, really, don't we? I think we'll just cut this out quickly. I've been doing a lot of gardening this Easter, as I'm sure everybody has if they've got a garden. Trying to catch up. I've painted some garden furniture, little table and chair, like a little bistro set, you know. So I got that done. And had a big clean out of my shed, which was just getting unbearable. I do it about once or twice a year. I don't know where the stuff comes from at all. So what we're going to do when we've decided the other things, I'll just show you, we're going to place these. The chives are going to go inside that pot, and I'm going to lift all this up with foam tape. But we'll just decide, we need another little pot for those to go in. I think that was the idea. And we need some herbs. So, right, let's have a look what we've got. So, I think there's a little plant pot you can cut out. So I'll do that with a little saucer. And what should we do? Should we do mint leaves? Should we do oregano for a change? I think it's oregano, that one. I did rosemary last time, so maybe we'll do that one instead. Oh, here we go. Stamping platform. I didn't stamp a lot until I got one of these because, oh, I just find them amazing. Right, and I'm using this lightweight card block. This is again from Hunky Dory, so you may be able to get this on CraftStash. In fact, this is where I bought it from, I'm sure. So you get quite a lot of sheets, and it is a really nice stamping card. It's nice, a nice weight to cut out as well when you've stamped for things like this, because you don't really need a heavy card, do you? And it's easier to cut out. So we're just going to pop those there. I need that. What else do I need? Maybe one of these. I think that's it, because my other things are cut out. So we'll pop those down, get them stamped up using Versamark. Actually, I would have liked the green or the grey, and I've not got that out to stamp the leaves, but not to worry, we'll do it in black this time. Very often if I'm doing something like that, I'll do it in a green, and then you've not got the hard edge. Just give them a little rub. There we go, lovely. And I'll use this tissue just to get the ink off there. Better put those away, otherwise they'll be stuck to something. And when you're all having a nice cup of tea after, I mean, you might be having one now, I'll be looking round for stamps, not knowing where they are. So we'll put that there. Now, do we think, what's the opinion? Do we think that's oregano? Oh, you've left your gardening to your husband, have you, Val? That sounds like a good idea, yeah. Right, I'm going with oregano, girls and boys. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Right, so we're going to pop that in there. Lift it up, hope it's straight. Hope it's the right way around as well. Yeah, it looks it. And stamp that in there. Oh, it's a bit smudged, that. Probably pressed too hard down on it. Never mind. I'll do another one. Won't take long, will it? Let's do it again. I sometimes forget, you know, with these little stamps. Let's just have another go. There we go, that's that one. And oregano. Do it gently this time. That's better. Much better. Just being a little bit heavy-handed there. Right. Okie coke. I need to cut those. So I can actually colour these in while it's on the paper. And then I'll cut it out quickly. So we've got a wrong end. Pauline, what are you doing? So we'll start with, am I in view there? Yep. And I might just leave the ends. Try not to come out too much because I won't be cutting right up to the end of all these. I'll have to leave the a little bit of white round. And then with this, I'm just going to see what this looks like on the end, this lighter one. Oh, that's nice. They're quite fine, these stamps, to get the point of your pen in, but I very often use pencils. I'll be using pencils in the next demo because that's very fine. So I don't know if anybody knows of any markers with an exceptionally fine nib that might be better, that you can get in all colours. The micron pens are a little bit too thin. Missed a bit there. That's it. Right, so I can get that cut out, and any old colour really for this. Let me see what I've got. Right, here's the browns. So on the boxes it actually gives you a colour as well on these. So I'll go in, let's see what this pewter's like. Right on there, that's not bad. So we'll go in there with this. It'll lighten up as it dries. And then the outside, we'll use the lighter of the browns. Right, and we'll just cut these out quickly. I was absolutely, the chunks come off me this weekend with doing the roses. I've got one rose in particular which is very very thorny, and it's beautiful when it's out, but I was cutting all the roses back and the chunks out of my fingers, my hands, broke nails. Oh, anyway, it's done now. So I did cut them down. I think it was about September, because I don't like to leave it all until March, because then the bin is absolutely full and it takes ages to get rid of all the stuff. So I try and cut down around September, and then again as the spring starts, try and catch up. Give it a good start, because once everything starts growing you don't want to cut it back, do you? So just cut round these. I know you don't have to. I'm a bit of a fiddler. I forget sometimes. I usually do this when I'm watching television. I'm sure you don't want to watch me cut all the little bits out really. So I apologise. You can just sort of do a rough shape round them, which is what a lot of people do. Don't blame them. There we go. That's not too bad, is it? Not too difficult. Just cut in there a little bit and round here. Right. Oh, you've not all gone to sleep while I'm doing this. Oh dear. I think fussy cutting is you either like it or you don't like it. But it is, if you want to do something in a hurry, it's not the best thing. But you know, if you just sat doing something and you want to sit down at night, because I don't know about you, but sat over the desk or the table when I'm crafting, I really ache by the time the day's up, my shoulders and my back. So it's nice to just sit in a chair and leave this until then. So we'll have that in there, and we'll have our little this little thing as well. This little what's it called? A label. Such an easy word. Why wouldn't my brain think of that then? Little bit easier to cut out. Lovely. You do need some sharp scissors as well, like this, for fussy cutting. Right, so now we've got nearly everything. I just want to do this little pot, and I'm just going to cut it out. So I've lost a plate off my machine. What did I do with it? There it is. Can't see it because it's under my nose. Right, so I'm going to pop these down on here and cut these out. So this is my little big shot. That sounds odd, a little big shot. It's the smaller one of the big shots. There we go. So there's the little saucer, which is really, really cute. And there's the little plant pot. Okay. Put my paper back over there. Try and stick these back on here so I don't lose them. Put that back on there. Right. Here we go. So just need to colour these. And then we can, the card's practically finished then. Right. So off we go again with our browns. That's the darker one. We'll start with the lighter one, I think. And I'll go all over with the lighter one. And then I'll come in with the brown on the sides and underneath. And just go over that again. I'll give it a little bit of depth. And then that's the dark, so I want this light one. And again, just very lightly in the middle. All over. Now, the dark one again. Under the rim. Back with the light one. Try and blend it. It will blend if you keep going at it. That's why it's better only to do small bits at a time, rather than do too large an area and it dries off too quick, the alcohol, and you can't get back in and blend it then. There we go. So that's giving it some nice shape. It just kind of gives it where the light's shining on it. Right, here we go. The best bit now. So first of all, let me just get everything off there. Put this out of the way and get this flat. I want to put that on there, but I don't want to stick it down yet. And I want to decide where everything's going. So I think I'm going to do equilateral. We'll have a pot on either side. and we'll have our little shrub there with the label, which is there. So they can be glued flat. So we'll get those in first. A little bit of glue, just a tacky glue, that one, and poke it underneath like that, and then we need to just make sure that the label will go underneath. There we go. And then in this aperture we're going to have the little saucer and the pot. Now I don't know whether, I don't think I did. I think I didn't put pads on it. I just curved it a little, but without pads underneath for this. So we'll try that. So we want that about there, and just curved it up slightly so that the centre is just lifting off. And little saucer underneath. There we go. Little bit of glue seeping out there. We'll have that. There we go. And then we need our little trowel and fork. So again, a little bit of glue on the back. And we'll have the fork going that way. And the trowel just at the side there. There we go. And then we've just got this one. Again, I've just sort of curved it a little bit so I can get the chives in. Curve them a little tiny bit and poke them in there like that. And then I could do a stick, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. I can always do that again. There's a little stick with all your herbs that you can put the label on. So I'll leave that for now. The next thing is we need to. I wanted to put that is to lift this up. I don't want it flat. And what I've done, I use this foam tape from CraftStash. It is wide, which I like because you do need it wide for some projects. But I usually have this baking, what's it called, parchment. And because you don't want to be cutting this with your scissors. I've got one pair stuck up already. So I was baking one day and I thought that's what I'll use. So I put some strips of it on here and then I can peel it off as and when I need it. So I'm going to just go around the apertures first of all. Can you see what I'm doing? Am I out of vision? All right, that way. The next card I'm going to do is a little bit more showy, but I love anything like this. So another little piece there. Of course I would choose something with 8 sides, wouldn't I? But I didn't want to carry on and do a lot of stuff before you were watching, because I thought, well, this is a craft along, and you know, you want to see me do the different stages. So I just hope it's not too boring for you. Right, there we go. So I've got to do this all the way around, and then just round the outer edges we'll put a little bit more so I want my long scissors now. And I'm going to cut this about 3 times to get 3 strips. I'll cut twice to get 3 strips. So there's one. Because you don't need to use all of it, you know, as it is. Right, yes, you can make them into shaker apertures. Who said that? Val. Yeah, you can. But I know that a couple of the other girls have done shakers, so I thought, well, I won't do that today. I was very tempted, but just thought we'd do something else. So hopefully my next one nobody's done. This one I'm using, aren't I? I'll just cut a few and then might speed things up a bit. Right. There we go. I'm just doing them just slightly back from the edge, so hopefully they won't be seen. So I'm going to, no, I won't cut that one because I've taken the backing off it. So just a couple more small bits on that one, and then we're nearly there. Yeah, but this is the same process you do for shaker cards, but the difference being that you just have to make sure there are no gaps, or else all your little sequins and nice things you put inside will leak out. I think shaker cards are brilliant for children because they love to see some movement in a card, don't they? As adults do as well. I think children just love it. Right, nearly there. It's just for a little bit of a lift. And it's not terribly thick foam, so it's not going to lift too much. Oh, here's another one. Here's got this one. Right, that one there. So that's that done. And then I just need to put some more bits and pieces around the outsides where it's missing. So we'll do that. Well, wouldn't you just be awkward and not come off in one piece? There we go. And another bit. And then I've just cut this one. We can do this more or less in one go. Righty-ho. Let's see where we're missing some. So I'll have some there. Put the tape down while I cut it. And we'll have some there. There we go, and it's just the corners now. Could have done with cutting that one. I'll have to do it with these and clean them after. That's it, that's a bit fiddly, but never mind. And that one there. And a tiny, weeny little bit there. Hopefully that'll make it stand proud now. I'll just get rid of all this rubbish. Better put the pin back in my little glue as well. And get rid of all this. I think I'll be having a good clean up after. Right, that's it, and that just lifts it. I don't know whether you're able to see that. It just lifts it slightly away. So it just makes it a little bit more interesting than just being flat. So all I've got to do now is take all these off. It's a little bit quicker than cutting it and putting it on. Oh. So most of my glues and just in case you're wondering, the glues and things like that, the tapes, the foam pads, cardstock, a lot of that. Most of the glues and tapes definitely come from CraftStash, and I get the subscription to Simply Cards and Papercraft. But we've been quite busy with samples and things, and of course I've been doing some of the shows on a Chanda as well. So that's taken up a lot of time, and I haven't been able to have the time to use the issues as they're coming in and stacking up, and I haven't used them. So I thought it would be a nice idea today to explore them a bit, because I love the magazine. I love all the magazines, but just can't afford to get them all. But the subscriptions are good value. So right, it's stuck up here. That one's off, there off, that's off. Oh, they're all off. Oh, I'm beyond myself here. Didn't realise I'd been that quick. That's off, that's off, that's off. Yep, they're all off. So now I've just got to be careful when I line them up. I usually stand up for jobs like this. I think that's about right. I can't really see over there. Oh yeah, that looks okay. So there's our lovely little card. You can just about get your finger under there, and then that just needs gluing onto there, and we'll get onto the next card in a second, because I think you'll all manage that one, no doubt. In your brilliance, you'll manage this one, no problem. Just dig out what you've got, dig out the dies you've got, even if you just do one or two, you know, it's just you'll have lots of different things to add, flowers and things like that. You can make flowers to put in, you might have some nice toppers. The pads are gorgeous that they have at CraftStash, I must admit, the paper pads. And don't forget, if you've got the magazine, if I'd had time last night, I would have done that. So all that remains to be done on there now is sentiments, and I think this might be going to Hungary for my brother actually. So and I hope it gets there. I spent ages one year doing some lovely elephants in what do you call it, with the groovy system that Clarity do, and I did these elephants, and I was really pleased with them, how they turned out, because not the easiest thing to colour, are they, on the back of the parchment. And I was really pleased with this card, and I sent it off and he never got it. It just didn't arrive. It's the one time that a card didn't get to him. He's just outside Budapest, and I was really upset about that because I spent ages doing it. But on this one, I've just put a little, I don't know whether you can see that, just a little chives label. And so I would do the same in that one for a bit of interest. And then I would put a sentiment on, happy birthday, whatever it's for. I haven't even got around to putting one on that. But there are the two cards. You can see the different, just slightly different effects using the different types of... Yeah, it was sad it got lost, Benita. I was sad. It took me ages to do it because parchment, you've got to leave it and then keep going back to it. And yeah, it was awful. Somebody's just asked which the paper pad was. And it's the Birds RSPB one from CraftStash. And this is the big one. Because if you do scrapbooking, I don't do scrapbooking, but I like to make things, big things. And this is the one. It's got some toppers in. I'm hopefully going to be using this one later. And there's some of the birds that are in here. And the papers are lovely. They're really, really good quality as well. I almost used that one on this design, and then I decided to use the one which is this one, because it looked like the rosemary one. It's pine cones and things like that. But absolutely, you get a repeat. I think it's about 2 or 3 repeats. Just trying to see, you get, it's 250 grams, sorry, 250 GSM, and there are 24 sheets, so there's 6 designs, and you get 24 sheets. So that's that one. And as I say, you can get that in an 8x8 as well if you only want to make cards. So it is lovely. This one was just something I had in my stash, but you can get the downloads. If you look at the magazine, the downloads are on there. So that's that one. So yeah, it's a good size card, that one. And then I did something else. What did I do? Let me see. I started to do this one, but I thought you don't really need to. It's the same principle. And this is from the Apple Blossom paper pad. No, I don't know where I've put that. This is it. This is the one from Apple Blossom that you can get the dies to go to as well. And this is a lovely pad. There's all kinds of flowers and things, and see, these are like toppers. You use that, cut that as a corner for your card. So I've used that one, but you also get these strips inside, and this is the one I've used. So it's a year in flowers, and there's 3 months to each pad. So this one is the autumn, and then the dies are huge for each flower that goes with it. They're absolutely gorgeous. So what I did, this is just a 5x7 card, and I got some of the strips that I've just shown you. Just go back to that. These are the strips, but not this particular one. I've used the other. Let me find it. That one. So I've cut the strips out, and I wanted to use my rectangle stitch dies. This being, I think it's either the smallest or the next to the smallest. And I've cut that 3 times into a piece of lilac cardstock, and I've mounted it like I've just done with the others. And then just on the front of the card, I've tried to cut it as wide as I can, because I need it to be, I don't want the edges to show, so it just about fits under there, under that small die. And then this one and this one was a little bit narrow, so I cut a piece of this, the ribbon that's on there, which is really lovely. I've cut it in half, and I've just added a little bit to the bottom, so that it gives me a little bit more depth. So there's always a way around something if you think about it. If you're determined and stubborn, like me. So I just marked on, I popped that on there onto this card like this, and I marked on where the apertures were with a pencil, so that I knew where to lay those across, and I've simply glued them down. So all I need to do now is, I didn't want to bore you with another card that was more or less the same, but I did want to just show you a smaller card, and just something, doing something a little bit different with strip dies. But I think nesting dies, I don't think you can ever have too many of those, because there's always a new style coming out, stitched or cross stitched or something, but they're all lovely, and they're so useful for making card blanks as well. Now, right, let's get this off. Oh, I always stick to the tape. we go. Come away. Right, I think that's it. So we just need to find our way on there. Probably get my head in the way, because I can't see. There we go. I think that's it. We're away. And that just, it's really pretty, the colour, isn't it? Just leaving a white edge around there. And then also, the strips, I'm going to glue these down, and then, let me just see, I might have to cut them off first. So I want Happy. I found that the Happy one, there's about 3 that actually fitted right across here without me having to cut a word off. So I'll just mark that there. I'll snip that bit off. And that should fit nicely, edge to edge, it does. Should have used my tape pen really. Right, so that can go in there. And then if you want to put extra flowers on, or you want something sparkly or a few pearls, whatever, you can do that. But I'm just trying to give you the basics and leave it to you to decorate as you wish. Then I can get as many in as I can. So again, I'll mark that one there. Cut that off. That's okay. And there we go, that's that one gone. Okay, so that makes a nice card as well, and how simple was that? I know a little bit was done, but it's very pretty, isn't it? Just from a paper pad and a bit of card. Right, so I'll get on to the next one. I can't believe how time's going on. I really can't. There's quite a bit to do on the next one, so I hope you don't mind if I run over a little bit. Just get these bits out of the way. And pop these out of the way as well. So the next one is from 215, issue 215, and it's the, I'll show you the card. So this is the card, and it's an easel card, and it's a see-through one. So they always make a nice card, an easel card, but I think with a bit of acetate and the sentiment on there, it just finishes it off nicely. So I've used the actual little flowers that came in there, the cherry blossom. It's a lovely set, and I'll just show you how I did it. Now that's the card with the dies on that you get and the stamps, but I've taken them off there for now. And I've used the square nester balls this time, and I've decided to do it in blue and pink. Right, so first of all I have cut a frame. This is the frame here. This is the size of the card, so that frame cut with this size, particular size, is the size I wanted. It's not quite 6 by 6, so I did cut the card according to fit this square, because the 6 by 6 was leaving me a little edge I didn't particularly want. Now I also need to cut the smaller one. Now I have embossed this one, and I wasn't too worried about it getting a little flattened, because when you emboss and then you die cut, it sometimes does flatten, but it's not a design that would look too bad if it was flattened. So again, I'm going to just take this down and run it through the die cutting machine, but I do need to make sure that I need 2 of these. You see, this is where it gets tricky. And I'll put the tape in there, because if it takes anything off, it won't be on the frame of my card. So let's have a look. So pop that one through. I don't know whether it will go through too, but I could try it. I've cut another one because I want one for the back. I'm going to see if it'll cut through too. If it doesn't, it should leave me the mark where it's to go. Let's just see. I've got one out. Oh, look at that. So that was easy because it, oh, that's tearing my paper again. It's very naughty. Naughty washi tape. Right. Just a little bit went over the edge. Now then, get rid of that. So that's nearly gone through, so that was easy because I can just pop that back in there now and it should be in exactly the right place. Yep. Make sure it's in properly. Right in the groove again. So that was fortuitous, as they say. Only on a Wednesday though. Right. Let's hope that's correct. Oh, somebody, Cheryl, you've got the magazine and the dies. Oh, well, maybe you can give this a try. And we'll see. Right, now if it's gone off at all, because this one I did was slightly off, you can always trim it back. So that's not too bad actually. And if you don't get them exactly the right way up, they can look a little bit off. You see, that's off there. And that one. So it was right the first time. Yep. So I can see just a tiny bit there. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. Just tiny little bit there. Just the edge. It might have just jumped in the machine because I put it through twice. And that shouldn't show then. Okay, lovely. Now then, I did, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get my heat embossing tool over here, I actually heat embossed a piece of acetate. Now it must be heat resistant acetate, and it's quite flimsy this, you'll know it, because it is very flimsy, whereas the acetate that you build with and use for other apertures, that is very, very strong stuff. And I've trimmed it as far as I can. This one, actually, even though it's heat resistant, I must have just got a little bit too close with the gun at one stage, and it did buckle there, and I had to put it inside a book and some weights on it to make it flatten out again. But I'm going to just tape that inside there first of all. Right, let's get, I'm just wondering which tape to use. I think I'll use this one. I'll get that out of the way, it'll be stuck up. The other thing I was going to show you was, that's vellum. And the vellum with the white embossing powder on is nice as well. But I thought we'd stick with the see-through one for now. So I'm just using ordinary tape here. Not using red liner because this should hold it fine. It's going to have a backing on it as well. So it should be fine. Right, okay. Pokey tool. There we go. Let's get it down first. There we go. It's just a bit more difficult because it's on embossed card. I don't really want a long piece there because I want my glue to go there as well. feel as though I'm working in a tip. There's stuff everywhere. Alright, I'm not cleaning up as I'm going along like I should. Alright, now then, I need to get my aperture the right way up again. Mind you, it doesn't matter, does it? I can stick the this in first. Right, so try and centre that up. Like that. That looks okay, doesn't it? Right, and now we'll put some more tape on. Have I got a wider one? There we go. That's that. And I could do with the narrower one just around the middle again. You could use glue around the outer edge and just use tape on your acetate where it overhangs if you like. Cramping my fingers. Right, now then, this is where I need to line up. That was the way. Right. Take the inner ones away, and then I will, I'll take them completely away, but the outer ones, I'll just lift the edges, I think. And try and line it up then. And then I'll just put a little bit of glue on this outer tape as well, and it just helped to, you know, if it's not quite in the right place, it just helps to move it a bit. Right, let's see. Again, I usually, everything I do I stand for. It's difficult when you sat down to see if you've got it centred. Well, that doesn't look too bad. Anything overhanging at the bottom I can always trim off, and wouldn't that just happen? That's it, like that. Now I've got a little gap there. Oh no, that's fine. See if I can get in and get that. No, doesn't matter. And any bits of glue that might be on your fingers, try and get those off. Right, so that's that done. Right, next bit. Now somebody's saying, Val's saying, some acetates scratch easily. How does the heat resistant one handle the scratch test? I'm afraid they all scratch. I find that sometimes I get them, I keep them all in a box, and when I lift them out you can see little white specks on them, and I usually just wipe them over with a cloth and just wet them a little and then wipe them over with a soft cloth, something like this. You know, one of these microfiber cloths, and try and polish them up a bit. But I'm going to have some stuff sticking over the edges of there, so I'm not going to do it now and hold everybody up. You might want to be getting on with things. So let me think what I did next. So that's my front, and I need to do that die cut again for a gap. So let me just see if I do that here, like this, and then that should line up nicely. Right, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm popping again, I'll put it to the inside because this card is notorious for sticking. I'll give it a bit of a rub. This is a smooth card for stamping on, but it's a nightmare for the tape to stick. So let me just see, and hopefully that'll be about right. So off we go through the machine again. And take that off. I need to do, yep, that's going to be nice. I want to just mark exactly where my well, it's not quite 6 inches is, and then I can score it. So my trimmer actually has a little scorer on it, as long as I remember to get the blade out of the way. And I'll line it up there, and then just go across with the scorer a couple of times, and that's that. Oh, I need it again. I need to just score that in half. So we've got, what have we got? We've got almost 15, which will be 7.5, won't it? Let me just measure that. Where's my ruler gone? It's not quite 15. No, it's not. It's 15 centimetres, 14.5. Right, let's do it on inches. So we've got 5 3/4. So what's that? 2.5, 2 7/8, is it? Let's see. 2 7/8. And no, that's nearly 3. That's not right. Oh, it's a little bit at the bottom. I wanted to chop that bit off because I'd done the card a bit longer than normal. So 2 and, is it there? I think I'm on the wrong. This is 7/8 down here, isn't it? 4, 5, 6. That's 7/8 there. So that should be 2 7/8 again. 2 and 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Right. So that's there. And that's in half. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. So we just need to fix this to here. And then I can just get rid of that little bit excess. I just left a little bit on because I wasn't too sure. The last one was a little bit long. Right, so we're going to pop this on here. Oh, now then. I know what I was going to do and I've forgotten. I cut out, that's after doing this for you as well. Oh, I cut out these lovely little lace edges and I put them in between. And what I might do, I might just put them on, but just glue them to the back, because I think they'll be all right. That one's not quite, I don't know, because you're going to see that, aren't you? No, I'll leave them off for now. I'll have a think about it. Oh, that was inside, you see. I've done that one. I'd done them and then closed them inside. It did cause this to buckle a bit, but that's what I wanted to do, but not to worry. You can have one with and one without. Now the flowers are done. Are these lovely cherry blossoms. Let's just bring them all in. Excuse my arm on the video, or on the live, should I say. And this little die that cuts these is from Linda Parker's Paper Craft Society box. I don't know whether any of you get that every month or buy them as and when you want to, but it's such a pretty little die. Linda's was number... Linda Parker was box 15, just in case you're wondering. So, right, so I wanted to show you how I coloured in the flowers, first of all. More tape. I end up finding this all over me at night, the bits on my sweater everywhere. Right, so I'm using, it's called Pink Jelly Bean, and it's a prism one. Again, this is a hunky-dory one. And I'm using a Paper Craft Society box one. I think it was from Christina's, the green one, but I wouldn't swear to it. It could have been from Olga's. But that's one of their inks. And I want a little water brush. And first of all, I started off with the pale, and just give it a wash of the pink. And just, you can leave the ends so there's a little bit of white on them. Just push the ink around. Again, this is the stamping card, so it will stand watercolour. And then I'll go in and make those darker. Oops, I put pink there, and that should be a leaf. Right, let's just clean this. And now with the green, I'll do the leaves. But I'm going to go in with a pencil just to add a little bit more shading when this is just dried off a little. And got a little bit of leaf there as well. Right, that's smashing. That was quick. And I've done some, I've done quite a few already because I realised we might run out of time. We've gone well over, I think. Wasn't expecting that. Right, now then, pencils. I had some pencils that I used, and I don't know where I've put them. There they are. Now then, that, give it a blow. That needs to dry for a minute, and these are dry, so I'll do these. So let me see what colour I used. That's quite strong, that one. Oh, that's the darker one. So with this one, when they've dried, because it is very pale, just go in the middle of the flower and just come out a little. And just give it a bit more depth of colour. So you can still see the pale pink on the edges and the white. But this just gives it a little more depth of colour, because they are all different shades, the apple blossoms, and the buds are quite strong colour, and the leaves do tend to be a little darker in the middle, fading as they come out. Well, it just brightens them up a bit. You don't want it too pale. And then again, for a slightly stronger one, this one, just where the stamens are, and just a few little lines where the stamens are, and it just adds a bit of depth. little bit round the edge there, the centre of the flower. And let's see if this is deep, it's dry enough. So again, a little bit. Haven't I gone quiet? It's so relaxing when you've got time though, some colouring, isn't it? I'm sure with a lot of people have been doing some mindful colouring since all the lockdowns. I think it's crafting's helped people to stay sane, hasn't it? And all the craft-alongs have been great, and the lovely videos that CraftStash put on, they're great. Some talented people, aren't there? Right, a little bit, a bit of that, bit of the darker one again. Not too much of the darker one. I think I went a bit mad on the ones I did before, previously. Right, that just, the little buds I'll do darker as well, because they tend to be, till they come out and flower. And I did have a nice green pen. Goodness only knows where that one is. Oh, there it is. It's getting shorter and shorter, this one. It keeps breaking. It's well used, this one. It's my favourite green. I'll just go over that a little bit. And the leaves on the bottom there. I would normally take more time, but I'm conscious of the way time's going on. So, right. Now then, I think, I've not stuck this down yet because I can't decide whether to put the lace on or not. I think we're going to have one coming over here like this. I think that's what I did last time actually. Where's my really tacky glue? This one. So I want some glue on that one and the leaf, and this one, and probably down here because they're getting stuck down properly. The rest is probably going to be on the acetate. Oh yeah, wrong side. Right, and we'll lay that down there. I don't want it to overhang the card too much because I don't want it to catch on the envelope when it goes in the envelope there. Right, and then we'll have this one coming down the other way. So what do I need to... This one. Any little sticks need to be made sure they're stuck down as well. Stems, I should say, not sticks. There we go. And then what I decided to do was just do a little bit of decoupage. So I think we'll have that one over here. It's slightly darker and I need some little foam pads. Right, so that one on there and that one over there. Susan's saying that the craft-alongs have kept us sane during the lockdown. I'm not surprised. Ah. Right. There we go. And then we've also got some tiny ones that you could just bob on the edge there. Give it even more of a lift. So there's one. And it just gives it a bit 3D. There we go. Like that. And then if you wanted to, you could use those elsewhere. But I need to get that little mark off there where it was a bit silly with the glue. But I think the pink on the blue really stands out. So I think I'm going to just stick this one on now so you can see what it looks like. And don't forget when you're doing easel cards, only up to the crease with your glue or your tape, whatever you're using. Sometimes we just get carried away, don't we? And we put glue everywhere, and it's wrong for an easel card. Right, so line that up. That's it. And press it down. You can add all manner of bits and pieces to this, butterflies, whatever, when you've done yours. And then for the base, what should we do for the base? My thoughts were, when I found this in the Birds magazine, I thought, oh, I really want to use that as the stop. So I made a stop with this one. I put some patterned paper and obviously matted and layered it, and then I just made a stop with a simple piece of this card and the lace on either side, and stuck a few of the little flowers. But I'm just thinking, these are the bits of card I've got. So if I do blue for the background, pink on top, and then use that for a stop. I know you won't really see the pink round the outside. I could cut it off, but I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll leave it as it is. So I need a trusty old trimmer, because my guillotine's there and it's massive. And I want to show you how I stamp the images and cut them out as well, but I'll just talk you through that. So first of all, pencil, and this is going to be a full mat, so that's correct that way, and just need to slightly, let's put a mark there. Right, it's just a bit skew with this one. I need a new blade for this as well. It's gone a bit furry. The edges have gone a bit feathery, as you can see. Now, let me see if I'm right. Oh, that's not going to do it, is it? Might see a little bit of the edge. I think it's a bit wavy. Let me see. We'll just get away with it, I think. Let's try. No, don't like it. Maybe we'll have the pink underneath then, and the blue on top. Okay, because the pink is a bigger piece. Don't know. What do you think? The pink on the blue? I do as well. I prefer the pink on the blue. I don't know whether I've got another piece of this card. It's a little bit. Here it is. I can do it. Right. So, I'm done with my pencil. There's my pencil. Let's just mark this there and the length there. That should do it. I always use the guillotine for strong cards as well, because I think this blunts your blades. Okay, thank you for your choice, because that's the way I was leaning and I was being tempted by having a small piece of card. Right, let's, that should do now, I think. It might be a touch long. I don't want it to go too near the crease. Do you know that looks as though it's cut off again? Oh dear me. Getting through card here like a good one. It is, it's off. Do it again. There. I mustn't have had it butt up to the... that's rushing, you see. Shouldn't rush. That's better. And did I say I was going to cut a little bit off this? I did, didn't I? I'm going to cut a little fraction off the end. I want it to be the same length. And I wasn't sure of my measurement when I cut this last night, so yep. And then if I pop that there, is that the one? Yep. And mark that one. You can see where the card's just a bit feathery on the edge, so I can't wait till I can get some new blades. I'll get 2 lots next time. Do you know there's something going wrong here? Because that's cut off again. What am I not doing? It needs to be away from the edge anyway, because I don't want it to get into the crease. Let me just see if that... would have been easy with the guillotine. It's too feathery. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Let me... oh, where's my guillotine gone? Right, let's see if I can get this straight. Oh, it might be a bit shorter now. That's the only thing. A bit too short. Yeah, it's that side that's gone off, gone completely off. And that one. Well, I'm not doing very well, am I, at the moment? I must need a cup of tea. So I think what we'll do is use, let me see which is the better. That's it. And I'll just come away from the edge a little bit more. So I'll straighten that one off. Goodness knows where it's gone wrong, but there's something not quite right. There. That's it. Okay. Yep. And now we need a pink piece as well on top, don't we? So we'll do a little 1/4 inch for 1/8 on either side. I don't like that little bendy bit on the corner, so that's coming off first. Make sure that's straight. And then that's there and about there. I'll do that one first and then we should be sorted. And thank you for your patience. Okay, guillotine out of the way. Right, so we can glue our mat down now at long last. Now I've got another one that's finished to show you with an oval aperture, and it's Lou Collins' lovely new floral script. And I was playing around with it last weekend and I thought, no, it was the weekend before, I was too busy doing gardening and sheds this weekend. So it was the one before, and I had a lovely, lovely time playing with it. Didn't know where I was going with it, just played, and yeah, it's a gorgeous set of stuff. So I've got the floral and some bits from another one. So, right, let's see. Yeah, I don't think that's true at the bottom. I think I've gone up there. So I think that's where the problem is. So I'll do that later. Right, I'll just glue this down. We have moments, don't we? You have a day when everything goes right and you have another day when bits go wrong. But not to worry. We can put it right. So I'll just bring that, I don't want it too close to that edge, because I don't want it to interfere with closing, so it doesn't matter if it comes a bit away. And that I'm going to trim off, because that's what was sending me wrong. So I must have slipped a bit when I was cutting that. So I'll sort that out in a minute. But they do make lovely cards, these. Let's find that, where's that little bird gone? There it is. So I think that on there would make a nice topper, don't you? So let's put some other card just to strengthen it underneath. That piece will do nicely. And it doesn't have to be exact, so I'm just going to, rather than cut down those little bits again, I'll just snip them off. It's just to strengthen it a little bit as a topper. And just trim that down ever so slightly. Right, that should do it. Yep, that feels much stronger now, because we need to put some foam pads under that, and I don't want it bending in the middle. There we go, it's not seen anyway. Just trim that bit off. Lovely. Okay. As I say, if I wanted to, I could trim that round there as well, but I'll leave it on for now. Right. Foam pads. And I love these ones. These are the square ones from CraftStash. And you can cut these down, but if you don't want to be putting little ones on all the time, these are brilliant. I just buy these about 10, I can't remember, it's 10 sheets or something you get for, can't remember how much now, but it's cheaper to buy them in 10s, and you just get, you've got them for a while then. And you can always cut them into 4 to make the small ones, but I usually have some of those as well. Now let's just see where this is going. I think about there. Yep, that's it. So I'm just going to cut this bit down now. Just carefully straighten it up. It's because I'm squashed and I can't stand up, I can't see what I'm doing, I'm terrible. That's why I've gone off. Right, so you've got room to put a little sentiment if you wanted to do something else. I personally would leave that inside clear because it's nice to look at, and then on the back I would put your sentiment on there on a piece of paper. But you've got this sentiment, but obviously you want to write your words on, don't you? So very quick, more quickly than I wanted to, we've done we've done this card, but they are lovely. They're really nice to see through easily. It's really pretty. And if you've not got the acetate or you struggle with it, just do it on the vellum, because as I say, the vellum looks equally as nice. So it's really lovely. And if you've got any little lace bits, which I'm really sorry I didn't, see how that looks with the little lace edging like this one. So it just you know, finishes it off nicely inside. But this is the way it goes, isn't it, when you're live? The other thing I was going to show you was the dies. when you've got these little stamps, they come off like this, 3 little stamps, and you think, how, without separating the dies, how am I going to do that? So the best thing to do is to cut this die out, because it's the 3 linked together, and they're fiddly when you separate them. So if you cut those out into, this is just a stamping card, but whatever you want to do, and then take that off, and your stamps then will drop inside, and you know exactly. So you'll have this in your stamping platform, and you'll know exactly where your stamps should go, and they'll drop inside there. You can stamp on your stamping platform then, and take your stamps away, and your piece of paper underneath obviously will be print stamped, and then you can actually pop that back in there, and your 2 pieces of paper, your one that you've stamped on underneath as well as this template, you can put through your machine, and they should really match up then. They should match up quite well. I did it by eye a few times, and one of them was slightly off, but I just trimmed it. It wasn't too bad at all, to be honest. I just wanted to show you this, which is something I was playing around with Lou's dies and embossing folder and stamps. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's quite a big one of the oval sets of the creative, what they're called, stitched nesting dies, the stitched nestables. And I've cut a large one out there. I've run the embossing folder. It's quite pale, I don't know whether you can see it. I ran that through, again using the stamping card I've shown you, and I ran that through, and then I just gently inked it with the blending tools, just subtle shades, and it really makes it lift. And then I cut it to an oval shape, and I did an aperture in this purple. So this stands, it's on a foam tape, a narrow one. It's not very deep, but it just lifts it to form that frame. And then I stamped and coloured the flowers. I also made the card with the aperture frame. And what you do, you just fold your card in to the size you want it, and then when you get your die, have I got a die? I'll use this square one for an example. You've probably all seen this, but you put your die, whichever shape it is, over the edge so it's not cutting that piece. And it gives you a shape like this. Now you can see it's not a full oval because we've not cut it right to the edge. And what you do then is you cut another complete oval to cover that up. And if it's a shaped like a round or an oval, you can cut a little piece off the bottom there. And I would, because this has got about 2-3 layers of quite sturdy card on, so I would either back this in a piece of card, or I had looked at it and thought, oh, should I have put that on a large rectangular card? I don't know. I've not made my mind up yet. Still in abeyance, this one. So that's another thing you can do. And what you can do is, I couldn't do it on this one because it was too big. I think I'd used the largest die. But if you used smaller dies and you skip a couple of sizes and get a really thick frame, you can stamp round the frame, you can put your flowers round the frame, put your sentiment in the middle, and it's really lovely. Really is nice. And there was one more thing I was going to show you. What was it? Oh, I know. Another way of doing, this is just before I go, because you're probably bored now. This is just a 5x7 rectangular card, and I've covered the front and back. And these papers are from the Alice in Teal, which again is available at, it's a CraftStash one actually, it's a CraftStash book. And I just can't put my hand on it. And it's lovely. Do you know I had everything organised before and I've just thrown stuff around, I don't know where it's gone. Where's my Alice in Teal gone? Here it is. Oops! No, it isn't that one. That was the guillotine. I can't put my hand on it, but you'll see it on the website. I've got the large one and the 6 by, no, it's 8 by 8 it is. Here it is, underneath everything. Right, this is the small one, Alice in Teal. And all these papers I've used have come out of this, and you also get toppers as well. And I thought it would have been really nice to have done a spinner card with you. So I've cut a few things out. I'll show you the principle. Now, as I say, it's a 5 by 7 card, this particular one. And you get another piece of paper, exactly the same, piece of card, the same size. Oh, I've just used 2 card blanks, to be honest with you. But where you've got that card blank as well, you're going to score halfway along, so it's going to be 2.5 inches there, isn't it? If that's 5, that's going to be 2.5. Fold it back on itself. In the middle, you're going to cut out a circle or whatever size aperture you want. And a lot of ones are made like this. You've got this mounting fold here, and a lot will tell you to do this, so that when you fold it, you've got this bit. But I find if you've got a spinner that's quite big, it might, your spinner's going to be hanging here and it'll stick out. So my idea was to bring it in a little bit there, so that you've got a little bit extra room. So we'll see how that works. And I've cut out lots of things. This is for on the front of the card. So it's actually a decoupage, what's the word I'm looking for? Topper, this one. So I've already done one layer and I'm just going to finish off. There are 3 layers to this of Alice. So there's that, and there's a little crown somewhere. See, I've just dropped everything, haven't I, on the desk. There it is. And I'll just finish that bit off. So there's the crown. Okay, so that's her 3D. I was going to stick that on the front, and there's a little tag that says happiest of birthdays. I was going to put that on there, and I've stuck something on the back and then you get little hearts and flowers and all kinds of things. There's top hats, there's clocks, there's everything, lots of sayings, Humpty Dumpty, little bows that actually look like it's material. And then what you do then, I've just stuck some more card on here, and you make a spinner. So that's my aperture. It's got to obviously fit in there and be able to move. And there's an eat me, drink me in the book. There are a few of them. There's repeats. So I've cut them out. They more or less went back to back, and any little white bits I've just snipped off because you can't tell. But in between that, you just need to get some cotton. So I've just used, just because I sew a lot, got all colours of Gutterman thread. It's quite strong. Some say use see-through elastic, but I've never seen that. So you just need to put a couple of strands of that through there. I've put some double-sided tape in the middle, put the cotton on, and then I've glued the top on, and that needs to be hidden. And again, some will say do it down the crease at the back, but you might see some tape or something there. So on the off chance, I don't know, it's that long since I've made one, I'm going to put it just at the side there, so we'll see how that works. Come on, where's me? Oh, no chance of finding a poker tool on here now, is there? There it is. Right. But these papers are really, I love teal anyway, I love the colour teal. So all you do is make sure you've got that in the middle. And I'm going as near to the crease as I can. And I'm laying that down there, pulling it quite taut and laying it down there like that. Okay. And then I'm going to, I'll snip that off in a minute. And I've cut the aperture. It's an idea to put your paper through when you put your card through, and then it'll do both. So I'm going to now glue that bit's stuck down anyway. If I don't finish it, doesn't matter. You'll know how to do all the finishing yourself, but it's just the principle behind the aperture. And I just thought it'd be fun for something different, because it's a while since I've seen one of these. Seen lots of shakers and things, but I've not seen one of these for a while, and children especially love anything like this, don't they? Right, plenty of glue on there. Let's have a look. Try and get it over the... See, the glue will slide a bit, won't it? That's a... Oh, it's upside down, that's why it's not quite... My hearts were upside down. Oh, dear me. Right, I think that's about right now. I usually like to do things in pieces where I've got creases, because they can tend to buckle up in the middle, can't they? I'll fold it first before it's completely dry, in case it wants to move slightly. I think that's okay now. And then we can snip off the cotton. There we go. And have I got this the right way up? I have. So let me just see if I put that at either edge. This, I only started this, you know, just before I went live. I thought, that's an idea. Can you see what I mean? When you fold it, it sticks out like this. So I'm going to move it a little bit further back. And then it, yeah, that's better. It'll all be enclosed in the card then. I want to stick it all down, don't I? That's okay. Right. You'll all need to lie down after this. I know I will. I just want a cup of tea. Oh dear. This is my first craft along. I've only ever done the videos before, so I didn't know what I was doing at all really. But Lou's fantastic. She helps me out. I'm not as techie as the others, you see, so I apologise. Right, well that'll go there. And I need to get that again. I'm just doing this by eye. You might want to just mark out with a pencil where you want it. I'm just hoping that's going to work now the way I think it is. And shut it and make sure. Stick that down a bit more. And that one down a bit more. That seems to, yeah, I'll just let off. Right. So we'll put Big Al on the front. Oh dear. So there's Alice. She's quite serious looking, isn't she? Fabulous colours. And also, if I'd have had time before, I'd have put gold mirror card under there as well, would have been nice. And then we'll have that on some sticky pads, just because we can. And I'm keeping somebody in the job making these, so I use enough of them. and then we'll have happiest of days and whatever else I'll think of later. And when you open it, what you can do is you can twist it round and round, you see, like that. And then you can shut it. And then hopefully when you open it, it twists like that. It's great, isn't it? So inside again, I can decorate with whatever I like. I've got bows, I've got hearts, I've got more sayings. There's even a long strip, this one, which says, the only way to achieve the impossible is to believe it's possible. So that could go down there if it'll fit just about. I'll have to cut the flowers off. Yeah, and there's lots in there, lots to choose from. So lots of toppers and things, hearts and everything. There's lots of other little people as well. There's obviously the Mad Hatter. Can't remember which is which. So you've got all these characters as well here, just so you can see. Yeah, I don't remember the flamingo. Do you remember the flamingo? I can't. It must be me. It must be a long time since I've watched it. Love this rabbit. Love the rabbit. And Time for Tea. That's always a good one. Have a Magical Birthday. That's the 3D set that I've just used. Yeah, and that one looks like she's falling down the well. I did do a sample for that. I don't know whether it was ever shown on CraftStash, and it I'd done the octagonal dies and like really layered them up about 6 or 7 layers, and she looked like she was falling in there. So yeah, falling down the hole, the rabbit hole. So yeah, lots and lots of lovely papers, and you can use these on all kinds of things as well. So it's a nice one, and as I say, it comes in 12 by 12 if you like to do your scrapbooking too. So I'll leave it there, and I just hope I've managed to get through most things. I'm sorry I had to rush this, but it was an extra, and I just wanted to show you another way of doing an aperture. Oh, they use the flamingos for croquet sticks. Ah, that was it. Yes, I remember now. I remember. Somebody else has commented there. I wonder if we can get back to that. The flamingo is the croquet mallet. Yeah, oh, fabulous. Thanks for that. I can sleep tonight now that you've told me that. Things weigh on my mind. So, as I say, I will carry on and decorate that up. And I hope you've enjoyed it and got some ideas for different apertures. As I say, I do love this type of card. It's really pretty, and I know that you can spend time and put pearls. I'll put pearls and things on. You put little bows on if you want. You could put little birds, butterflies, dragonflies, whatever. But yeah, really just something a little bit different to do with your dies that I'm sure you've got at home. So thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope you can go back and have a look and perhaps play it through if you've not been able to craft along. It is difficult with so much different stuff. So if you can go back and craft along later, that's just the beauty of it, isn't it, really? So thank you very, very much for joining me. It's been lovely to have your company here, and maybe we'll do it again sometime. But thanks ever so much, and have a lovely rest of the day. And let's hope the weather warms up, because I'm getting a bit sick of this now. Are you? I am. So take care, everybody, and thank you. A big thank you from me. It's been lovely. Cheers for that. Bye for now then. Bye bye.